Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and greeting to Dr. Nora Hanzana, Dr. Wan Hamiza and Dr. Muhammad Lufi. Today we will present our group project for BNP 21103 Construction Technology and Management. We from Group 6 will present our Pago Educational Hub Shopping Complex. Before that, I will present our group members. Me, I'm Iqbal bin Husaini, CN 210296, Brian Ian Lee, CN 210380, Kishan Yoganeswaran, CN 210379, T. Beng Siu, CN 210401. Next, I will present our organizer for this project, Project Executive. Kishan Yoganeswaran, CN 210379 as a Project Manager. I'm Iqbal bin Yusaini, CN 210296 as a Architecture. Brian Yen Lee, CN 210380 as a Civil Engineer. And T. Bensiu, CN 210401 as a Civil Engineer. Next, I will present our project backgrounds. The area around Pago is developed due to beginning a university town, Pago Educational Hub, which houses a several institute of higher learnings. Among the facilities available to him in a shopping complex such as a clothing store, children recreation center, restaurants, cinema, banks and other facilities are available. Design a shopping complex which has a third floor, have a ground floor, first floor and second floor, which is houses 30 shop, food court, entrance, toilet facilities, center court and others. Other facilities include car parking, bus and taxi service. It aims to provide convenience for our customers to attend shopping complex. Other facilities are also provided to move in a shopping complex, such as an elevator, escalator, lift, and stairs. Two customers to move each level in a shopping complex. Next, I will present our objective for this project. First, to provide shopping center facilities for university students in a Pago educational hub. Number two, to ensure that a resident can be enjoy all facilities such as a shopping mall to get their daily food and beverage, also their clothing at a shopping mall. Number three, to increase their community of residents around Pago Educational Hub by provide other facilities like shopping mall and bus stop like for the transportation. Next, we will show our building layout we have designed for our shopping complex. So the first picture on the top show as a front elevation, and for the bottom of the picture it show as a left elevation. Now we will show our plan layout. For the plan layout, ground floor and first floor, also second floor.
Now, I will present about substructure component. The substructure is the lower part of a building which is constructed below ground level. It is in direct contact with supporting soil. Substructure components are designed with the soil conditions in mind. The soil condition in this project is with high clay and silt content since these are fine-grained soils. Pipe foundation is taking the wet down through the wet soil to a firmer layer of soil or rock below, and allowing the wet to be distributed down to a circular basin that can support the building. The function of substructure is to transmit the roots imposed on the structure to the soil below it. and therefore the type of soil used is very important. In this heavy construction, much graded loads are carried by the soil. So, the foundation design is often more complex and we select the deep foundation such as pipe. For the element piling, a pipe foundation is defined as a type of deep foundation that comprises a long, slender column used to transfer the root coming from the superstructure to the lower laying ground, thereby providing overall support to the structure. The pipe foundation is made up of concrete and driven deep into the ground. Pipe foundation is to ensure that a structure can stand still on top of a strong foundation as long as the coronal elements are located in the strongest and most stable part of the soil or rock layers. Pipe foundations likewise prevent soil erosion and other damaged elements and factors from corrupting the stability of the structure foundation. For the project of the shopping complex education hub, we suggest using a precast concrete pipe because it can be prepared by using ordinary reinforcement and can be easily combined with concrete superstructure. The length of the precast pipe is 10 to 15 meter. Its maximum length is 30 meter. Besides that, the usual load is 300 kilonewton to 3000 kilonewton. Next is the element pipe cap. Pipe cap is defined as a concrete block case in the head of a pipe. Pipe cap carry root from structure to pipe, which then transfer root to firm soil. External pipe fragures are most likely to be strongest near the ground surface. The depth and pressure of the ground increase its stability. As a result, the top of the pipe is more vulnerable to movement and stress than the bottom of the pipe. Pipe caps are thus added to tie the pipe heads together to reduce individual pipe movement and settling. This pipe cap size lowers the amount of planning area required for a symmetrical pipe layout in relation to the roof. The pipe cap should allow the outer pipe to exceed a minimum of 150 mm, although it should not be excessive, typically not exceeding the pipe's diameter. The next one is column stump. The stump is the simplest and most familiar footing used for the vertical support and the transfer of building roots to the foundation. Stump must have a footing placed underneath the base of the stump. This is to spare the root transfer to the stump from the building. This support beneath the stump is called a pad of support. Concrete stumps are provided with concrete pads poured in situ on the site. Column stumps made of concrete offer more support, stability, and strength to the floor and wall of a building. The stumps are able to distribute the weight of the floor more evenly, which results in the foundation developing less wear and tear. We suggest using the column stump by size of an RCC column stump should not be less than 300 mm length and 300 mm wide.
My name is Brian Lee. My text number is CN210380. I want to present about superstructure component. So, what is superstructure in building construction? The superstructure component of building are constructed above the ground level, which means is the part building of construction entire above the foundation. The second, this component must get tested with load to safely transfer the dead load, life load, and other load to substructure which further distribute the load to the earth. For the third, one of the methods to provide stability during these critical times to providing the bracing of building. By providing a bracing, column and beam work together and carry laterally load to downward. So now I want to explain all the element function of superstructure. The first one is roof. Roof is exterior and the uppermost part of any building structure. This structure is a covering this to protect the building from rain, wind, sun, and other adverse effects. For the second is parapet. The parapet is a short wall barrier that is constructed at the edge base of the roof, balcony, or walkway of mains protection. This can construct by reinforcement concrete. For the lintel element is a type of beam structure constructed above all the wall opening to support earth coming over its transfer safely to the side wall. The fourth is slab. Slab functions are horizontal structure elements in a building to serve purpose floor, roof, or ceiling. For the fifth is a beam. Element beam is also a horizontal structure element with a specific depth and width running with a span. It withstands vertical load, bending moment, and shear force. For element six is column. The column is vertical structure element that carries compressive load. This is one of the critical structure elements in any building structure whose failure can result in progressive collapse. For the seven is wall. The function of wall is construct in continuous that divide to enclose space. Walls can be constructed either by means masonry or by means of concrete. Walls take up the load from the beam and the slab of the roof above. The main purpose of wall in building construction is not only protect the building from damage but also divide them different room or space. These various functional requirements of wall that should certify to perform its functional adequately. For the eighth element is floor. The floor is defined as a finished horizontal surface of the building or a room where people work. Any floor has two main components, subfloor and floor cover. The subfloor is constructed to support the imposed load coming over it. This component provides strength and stability for the floor structure. A floor cover or floor is suitable for floor finishes provided the form of tiles, granite, marbles, and concrete. For the ninth element is stair. A stair are a series of the step flights that construct to move from one of the floor to another floor. A staircase is a room or enclosed where the stair is constructed. The space occupied by the stair is called stairway. There are different types of stair like continuous stair, straight stair, and turning stair. Next, I want to present about the conclusion of superstructure component. First, the superstructure design is critical when it comes to any structure. It is the major part of building which not only accomplishes functionality but is also exposed to the external environment. When engaging in superstructure design, it is supporting to consult with a professional structure engineer to ensure the building is designed appropriate. For the shopping complex Edo Hub, almost all structures use BRC concrete to build it because to maintain a can bear heavy load and shopping mall is a larger user to use the building need a quality material to bear the load and for the safety user in the building. Thank you. That's all for me.
I will be presenting on the project costing. When it comes to project costing, it can be simply referred to the bill of quantities or also known as the taking offs. So this bill of quantities and taking off and project of the project will simply guide you and give you descriptions of the expenses and allocated amount of budget that can be listed to proceed or to carry on this project easily. So this bill of quantities consists of few elements such as the preliminary works, earthworks, plumbing, electrical works, and also superstructure and substructure. So as we can see from these preliminary acts in first place, first elements, excavating. So we will usually clear site of all shrubs and undergrowth, including grubbing up of roots and dispose of that as directed. Secondly, excavation oversight average 200 millimeter deep and cut away as directed. Thirdly, excavation oversight to reduce levels commencing from street level exceeding 0.30 meters deep. And finally, excavate foundation trench starting from reduced level not exceeding 1.550 meters deep. The following part of the project costing should be the provisional cost. The provisional costs are known as the following provisional items to be measured on completion of the works and priced in accordance with rates contained in this bill of quantities or pro rata or deducted in whole if not required. Uh, Prime costs sums for works to be executed by nominated subcontractors, and provisional causes are known as electrical works, mechanical works, plumbing works, and also the earthworks, including roadworks. And this will be the bill of quantity summary in this project of Pago Educational Hub shopping complex. There are few elements such as substructures, reinforced concrete superstructures, walling, roofing, doors, windows, external finishes, and also internal finishes. As you can see, these are the prices that are estimated for this project. I will be also talking about the project management. A good management will lead to a good project and a successful project. So as a project manager, there are few steps that a project manager need to follow and make sure it meets up all the requirement for the project. As the part of the project overview, this project has been taken by using the design bid build method, which is the project owner Saim Dabi Sendirian Berhad will employ the architect, engineer, and designer to create and develop the new structure as we were given the task by the Saim Dabi to complete this Pago Educational Hub shopping complex. So why we have choose this design bid build method is because it can save money and maintain fairness among the contractors submitting bids. And apart from that, it is very effective and done using the design bid build technique for this kind of project because it could take and finish it up in a quicker project completion time. It will not take more than 2 years or 3 years. And every project planning should also conclude the project management. As a project manager, there are few steps that are project management stages that I have to follow. In this project, these are the following steps and stages that have been taken into consideration, which is stage one, authorizing a project. So when you're authorizing a project, you have to look for the business case or the purpose of this project. And stage two, starting a project. When you are going to start the project, you have to be ready with all of these project plans, stakeholder analysis, and also the risk assessment that you have to be doing before even starting the project. So you have a good idea of what's about to come and what you are about to face during this project. And stage three, which is managing a project. Managing a project should be when you are dealing with issues, and also as a project manager, you should be aware of all these issues and also solutions to come up with to deal with normal issues that may come up in a site or in a project. So issues such as shortage of materials or shortage of fundings should be taken into consideration by this project manager when it comes to managing a project. So apart from that, when you're managing a project, you should also keep up to your schedule, and also you have to be following up very closely to know all the progress report of these meetings. So it is basically you can be having a weekly site meeting to make sure that your project is running on time and it is not behind the schedule. And apart from that, you have to make sure there is no report that are given exceptions. All of your reports have to be taken into consideration. And finally, stage four, closing a project. So when you are about to close the project, or you're about to come to the end of the project or completion of the project, you should be able to uh, make sure that the quality control of your project, or whatever you're about to hand over to your client, in our case, which is Samdabi, as a project manager, I should have, I should make sure that it is up to the requirement, and I followed all the standards that have been needed by the client. Another part of project management is safety risk assessment. It is because if you become a project manager, and as a project manager, you should be able to detect, or you should be able to supervise wholesome of the project, whatever that is happening inside or outside the project, especially on the site, on site or off site. It is also responsible of the project manager to take notes and take aware of things to be handled, such as the safety risk assessment. So when you are doing a project, or when the project is running, there are few elements that should be taken into consideration. For example, when it comes to a basic or initiation of this project, there will be soil investigations, for example, and these risk assessment are known for the hazard identification, risk assessment, and determining control. This is known as HIRAC. So when this HIRAC is used by the project manager to detect whatever risk that is about to come when you are running a soil investigation, for example. And last but not least, a very important part of the project management and project planning is the Gantt chart of project schedule. So as basically this is our project schedule. Our project was estimated to start on the 1st of March 2022 and about to end 26th March 2023, which takes around the duration of 234 days. So in these 234 days, there will be only including of the construction schedule days. So if no construction is happening within this, or less construction is happening within these 234 days, it should be recorded, or you should be able to see in this Gantt chart as your management and planning schedule. So as we can see, construction schedule is 234 days. Contract writing is before, which is the initiation of this project, that will be taken into consideration for 31 days. Apart from that, contract signing, secure financing, then we have to obtain permits, site work starts, plumbing work starts, electrical work starts, all the civil work starts, and it is expected to end on the 26th of January 2023, which is included in 234 days. Thank you. As the conclusion of this Pago Educational Hub shopping complex project, we might conclude by saying that a shopping complex represents development in a community. As was mentioned above, one of the developing areas is the Pago area, which consists the attention and strategic position, which is surrounded by many universities, also well-known universities, and also a lot of youngsters and students that are growing upon the community. The shopping complex is one of the multi-purpose buildings that will be built in the Pago area. In other words, the building of this shopping complex is advancing the ability to buy and take advantage of variety of goods and services under one roof that can make life easier for the locals in the Pago area. Thank you.